Yo, what's good, everybody? Keith almost in full color, and today I want to talk about Sea of Stars. I've been super excited for this game since that Kickstarter was announced by Sabotage, but this is the group that brought us one of my favorite games, Messenger. So I was super excited and super happy, especially when I saw the premise of this game. We are reviewing this game via the Xbox Series X, via Game Pass, where it is free at since day one. I have Game Pass, so that's what we use for this. It's also free on PlayStation Plus Extra if you have that. You can purchase it via both of those console stores. You also can purchase this on the Nintendo store, and you can also purchase this on Steam if you're interested in playing. But enough about where you could play. Let me explain to you why you should play. Now, if you are a lover, a diehard lover of those older RPGs, your Super Mario RPG, your Chrono Trigger, your Secret of Mana, your Final Fantasy VI, this game is definitely going to be right up your alley, and it definitely will speak to you. The first thing I really want to touch on are the visuals and how it really pushes that pixel look. Now, it has that pixel look, but it's super clean and it's super crispy. It's something about it that is just like, wow, like you kind of get that nostalgia feel, but you can also see how it's been kind of tuned up to the now. So it still keeps that feeling, but also it looks modern. So it's very nice to see those really clean visuals. And another thing that I absolutely love about this is you can kind of tell when you're playing the game what environments you can kind of manipulate and use and utilize. So also great because these games and the way that they're portrayed to you, the spacing is just different. Right. And so they take good usage of what's on your screen and they kind of make things a little multi-layered so you can jump up this and go down that. And it really lets you explore and go different places and kind of do different things. In our older RPGs, we really didn't have that. You kind of had the path. You had to walk this path. If there was a stick in the way, it was the mightiest stick on earth. You could not jump this stick. No matter what feat you can accomplish in battle, this stick was just going to stop you. So very, very nice to see just that touch of, hey, let's make it to where they can kind of jump up here and jump over there and do that. This RPG is one of those light ones. I know a lot of times I tell you all the tone of an RPG. This one is very lighthearted and it has that hopeful feel to it. There is darkness to it, I suppose. Most RPGs do have darkness in them, and this one does have some to it. But overall, it's overall bright, so I feel like you can let one of your kids play it and they'll be perfectly fine. Garl is pretty much the heart of this game, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But overall, the tone of the story is, hey, let's go have fun. Let's go on an adventure. Let's go, beat up some bad guys while we try to accomplish our missions in life and whatever that may be. It's a really good story with really good undertones, free will, live your life, love yourself, those type of things. So they do have a lot of undertones into the story, which most RPGs, most games do. So it's just nice to see that as well. It's not some kind of just bland story. It is a story with a message. And therein lies where I feel like Garl kind of comes in and he really takes the show from me. He really, really pushes that, hey guys, like I'm here to be comedic relief, to warm people's hearts, to kind of push the main characters to be better and whatnot. So Garl is pretty much the catalyst, I feel like, for a lot of things. And I absolutely love what they did. He's not even the main character, but yet he feels like the main character in several key story elements and aspects. So I love how important one of your side guests are. He doesn't really feel like a side character at that point. By definition, he is, but really when you play the game, you kind of see like he's actually super important to everything that occurs for our two main characters. Gameplay wise, I love this game. It takes hints from Lost Odyssey and Legend of Dragoon, if you will, by perfect attacks, and they actually extend that a little bit with perfect blocks. So if you hit the A button, X button, whatever it is that you're on, but if you hit the button as soon as an enemy is getting ready to hit you, you'll do a perfect block, and that will give you reduced damage and also helps fill your combo meter. If you do that on an attack, you'll do a double attack, so you'll attack twice, again filling that combo meter. And what this is going to do is later on in games you'll have characters develop combo moves with one another, and then you can use some of that meter to burn your combo. And feel free to burn them combos up, because when you go into the next battle, that combo meter is gone. So always take advantage of those combo meters, whether it's, hey, I'm about to heal my team with this combo, or hey, let me do this move which is going to give us back some MP. Whatever it does, just use it, because you're not going to be able to use it in the next battle. This game isn't really difficult by way of combat, but if you are caught slipping up by not being prepared for the next battle, you definitely might die. I had two instances where I just kind of went into the next battle mid health, no MP, and just kind of got a little overwhelmed by the enemy. So be aware that you probably want to just be as healed up as possible, MP'd up as possible. This game comes with a cooking feature, as most RPGs do. The one thing I did not like about the cooking feature is none of the meals gave you an added kind of passive bonus where there'd be 30% attack for the next 3 battles or something like that. That's something that most RPGs do these days, you know, gives cooking that extra element. That's not present here, but you know, just the heals and the MP are good enough. You're gonna get tons of materials to cook up a storm, use those items. You're not going to be hurting for items when you're playing this game. And next thing I'd really like to touch on is the music. The music is dope. Like it definitely is going to take you and remind you of those older RPGs. Like it has that feel to it. One of the songs reminded me of Mega Man for some reason, which is weird, but overall I really like the music, and especially for a game that's kind of older in a way, but there's no voice acting in this. So when you have that, I feel like your music does have to be on tilt. Like since you're not having anyone voice act these lines, you need to have everything on tilt to help give that feeling, to help give the moment and a little extra added bonus by way of this is a boss battle. It needs to feel like a boss battle. It needs to feel like this is a tense moment. So I really love what they did with the music and the sound within this game. It was absolutely fantastic. I can't really praise that enough. And with that came the pacing of the game, which was really cool because you kind of saw that the game to me didn't really hit a flat point. I felt like it kind of was, the beginning may have been like the flattest it was, and then it kind of just ramps up, and but it does so in a very steady way. It's not, you know, 1 second we're talking to the next second a meteor is coming down and we need to stop it immediately. It does just gradually progress. It gradually just goes on, and I really liked what they did with that. It kind of gave you time to really see what's going on in the world, understand what's happening within this world, and then, okay, when the stakes get high, the stakes are, you understand them at that point. You got a chance to understand all the characters around and everything else that's happening around you and where you stood at within this game. So kudos to them on the pacing element of this game. It was absolutely fantastic. Overall, like I said, this game is an amazing game. Solid story, super solid. It's a very lighthearted game, so something that you can get into and not feel depressed or like, you know, dejected after playing in any way, shape, or form. The combat is fun. After a while, it may kind of taper off for you if you're not really into turn-based things. And if you want to like go into it and not really think too much, there are things called relics, and those relics pretty much make the game easier. Some are typical things that you would get in any RPG. For instance, the haggle skill, where it drops the cost of items in a shop, whereas other ones are like, hey, after every battle you go into the next one with full MP, full HP, which is kind of takes away the whole cooking aspect of the game. Like you don't have to do any of that, so you can kind of just play and just go through. If that's something that you want to do, that basically turns the game on easy mode for you. But you'll get a ton of relics, and like I said, some of them are atypical of RPG, and some of them are literally just meant to put the game on easy mode. Now, there is no crafting system for all my hardcore JRPG fans, so there is no crafting system. This is kind of good in a way, though. You don't have to worry about going and farming materials. You can kind of just enjoy the story, buy your new equipment, sell off equipment, whatever the case may be. So for that, I would say it's kind of going to depend on you, how you feel about that. The one thing I will say that slightly bothered me a bit is that there really weren't too many buffs and debuffs. Now, you did have a buff where, you know, you could put a shield around your allies. You did have a debuff where you could delay an enemy's turn. So there were like little things, but nothing like bleed or poison or confusion or anything like that. Sleep. There really wasn't anything that I saw in there that like really let you play around and kind of go into a build per se. Each character did kind of have their role, I would say, that you could kind of see. But overall, I'm hoping that another game in this vein is made by them, and that game really leans into that aspect, because that's just an aspect I think a lot of us truly love out of RPG. It's that, you know, okay, I inflicted poison or bleed, or just alternate paths to just the hack and slash, if you will. You know, I'm just gonna attack every turn, or I'm just gonna use magic here and there. Just something a little auxiliary and a little bit different at chipping away at health. Just a different way of doing things. But overall, this game is solid. If you have Game Pass or PlayStation Plus Extra, I highly encourage you just to get on to give this game a shot. It is absolutely amazing, and it's going to tickle your heartstrings. Again, that Chrono Trigger. In fact, there's a direct line from Chrono Trigger just showcasing the love that they have for Chrono Trigger within this game. There are several Secret of Mana, like I feel like rips that kind of really made me happy. Final Fantasy VI, I definitely saw some elements of that in there, but at the same time, it has its own identity. So I feel like that was really cool that you could see the inspiration, but at the same time, you feel like you're playing Sea of Stars. You don't feel like you're playing those games. So awesome game. If you're on Game Pass, if you're on PlayStation Plus, check it out. This would be an excellent game for the Switch to take on the go, though. Excellent game for that. And if you're on Steam, well, I mean, you're a PC head. I don't know what to tell you. But that's gonna do it for this one, you all. Keep it locked, man. Mortal Kombat is on the way. We're about to hit that super busy season, and I'm absolutely gonna love it with Mortal Kombat. And that Cyberpunk DLC will be featured on this channel amongst more, all right? And definitely hit that notification subscription button because we will be playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder. All 4 of us, the whole squad, will be together, probably dying a lot because we have not played a traditional Mario in some time. But like I said, that's going to do it for this one. Thank y'all for rocking with us. And as usual, peace, be easy, be blessed.